Me. Hi, folks. So I'm a little bit exhausted at the moment. But I was just thinking about something. I got in the car to go get lunch, and was thinking about something as I rolled the windows down to cool it off a little bit in here. Now I'm gonna have to listen to the cars passing by. I don't know. Maybe I should do this later. But so I guess maybe there are three things that I want to talk about. One is autogynephila, one is my inverted vagina, and one is my cow fantasy. So the autogynephila I wanted to talk about because I just had one of the best experiences I've ever had masturbating. I had one of the best orgasms I've had, at least in a long time, from masturbating. The thing was that I had to look in the mirror to do it. So I had on a wig. I had on my ratty wig. The one I have two wigs. One of them I put in a box for safekeeping, and the other one is the one I wear it a lot in my videos. It's the brunette wig. It looks like it's been used as a mop a few times. So just to give you some context, if I had not been looking in the mirror, like if I were to just go sit on a couch somewhere and just get naked and try to masturbate. Now, let me also back up a little bit and say that I'm almost a year now on HRT. I've been taking hormones for almost a year. It'll be a year in like a week, and so the hormones are affecting my ability to get an erection. It does get more difficult to get erections. In some cases, it's damn near impossible. But that depends on where I'm at mentally. Right? It's not like the biological processes no longer work. It's not like that. The thing is, like if I were just sitting on a couch and I took my clothes off, I'm still in that old state of mind that I was in for years prior, where I saw myself as a man, basically, and I would masturbate in this kind of certain state of mind. And I don't know how else to describe it than just to say that it is a state of mind, because if I dress up as a woman and I look in the mirror, that heightens my arousal, but it also changes the way that I see myself. It's like the state of my mind alters, and I almost stop seeing my penis as a penis or something manly. I start to see it as something feminine. But I'm already getting to my second point here. I don't want to do that yet. What I want to talk about was the first part of that, the whole thing of being aroused when I look in the mirror and see myself looking like a woman. Because just putting on women's clothes is not enough. Because apparently, just putting on the clothes, I still see myself as a man. I'm just a man in women's clothes, if that makes sense. So that whole thing, though, of being aroused at seeing yourself as a woman for a man, some people call that autogynephilia, which the idea there is that it really has nothing to do with being trans. It's not like, well, now you're in the right gender, and now your ability to be aroused and to feel sexy and these sorts of things has been reconciled or corrected. It's not that. It's that the idea behind autogynephilia is that you are the object of your own desire, which is like another way of saying you want to have sex with yourself. That it is similar in a way to looking at a Playboy and being aroused by the woman in the image, where you're looking at yourself and you are the sexy woman that you want to have sex with. Which, for me, I don't agree with because of that change in mental state. I don't buy that theory as the cause for why I feel aroused when I'm doing this, because I feel like there is that change of mental state. You might say this is my alternate theory. It's not really a theory, it's more of an experience, but it is an alternate to the theory of autogynephila, because I do experience this change in mental state where I suddenly start to feel more feminine. And that's when I have this experience of my penis becomes like an inverted vagina, and it's like I'm not stroking a penis anymore, I'm stroking a vagina that's been turned inside out. And that heightens my arousal. And it allows me to have experiences that I've never had before from masturbating. So this might be a short video, because I'm almost done here. I'm on my third point already. There's not much else I need to say about the inverted vagina, really, other than to say that there is just the kind of accompanying mental shift, where it's like I see myself as beautiful, I feel sexy, that kind of thing. I feel like there's nothing wrong with me, like in the past. When I used to masturbate, I would a lot of times feel like something is just wrong with this picture. There's something that I feel wrong. I almost feel guilty in a way. But there's also a kind of like self-centeredness to it. But when I have that shift and the penis becomes basically the inverted vagina, that self-centeredness kind of goes away, and it's like I can shut my brain off. I can stop trying to whatever it was I was doing before, kind of trying to be like this, kind of constantly trying to do it right. That's what I felt like almost. It's like I was trying to do it right, but right meant doing it wrong. If that makes sense, which I think is where a lot of that guilt came from, where it was like I was trying to force something that wasn't meant to be. And I don't know if any of that makes sense. That's just how I feel when I'm in that. When I used to be in that mental state. Masturbating for me was very similar to sex in the past. And I mean that a lot of times it was very unfulfilling. It was very much like there's something that I want and I'm not going the right way to get it. So, the third part was my cow fantasy, which is something that I had when I was, I want to say a teenager, maybe a very young teenager, or like early pubescent child, which was I used to have this fantasy that I was a female cow, and but it wasn't. Seeing myself as this female cow I found to be arousing, but it wasn't having a vagina in the image that aroused me. It was having the udder. You know how cows have these big, huge sacs. It's like the cow's breasts, but it hangs between their legs. It doesn't. Their breast does not appear like a human's. It's down between their legs, and it just kind of dangles. That's what I would picture in my head. I was this female cow, and I have this big udder between my legs. It just kind of dangles, like when I walk, it smacks up against the side of my legs. And I found that to be incredibly arousing. And in my fantasy, I was in this kind of farm area where there were other cows. A lot of times I would see a barn, just like the plain old wooden barn, and there would be cow manure all the way around the barn, where the cows were they were fenced in, and there was cow shit everywhere, and they would just plop their hooves around, walking around in this cow shit. And so I would walk through this cow shit, just I'd walk up behind a cow, and it didn't matter to me if the cow was male or female. In my mind's eye, I wasn't really concerned with the sex of the cow, but I would come up behind them and mount them like I was a bull, and I would press my udder up against their backside, like right in the anal area. And this I found to be incredibly arousing. So, but at that age, I was like, where did this fantasy come from? What is this? I mean, I don't quite get this. All I know is I find it arousing. But my theory, or no, it's not really a theory. I think it kind of makes sense now after everything I've said. It really makes sense. I don't know if I even need to call it a theory. But I guess the idea here is that the udder was a substitute for my penis, basically. That it was a feminized or a feminine penis or feminine phallic symbol, you might say. And that was what aroused me about it, was this idea that what I had between my legs was feminine, and it was not what I have is not a masculine penis. That what I have is a feminine penis, basically, and I have to kind of be in that feminine mind state for it to work the way it's supposed to work. I don't just mean to get an erection, but just to have like the orgasm that the way I was meant to have it, I guess. Because one I had earlier was, I don't want to say it was like mind-blowing, but it was, like I said, it was one of the best ones that I've ever had. And that after, there have been several times in the past, like, where I tried. I was not looking in the mirror. I was not dressed up as a woman. And it just didn't work. Like, I couldn't get an erection, or if I did, it was difficult or even sometimes painful. Yeah, experiences like that, for me, confirm the idea that I am trans, though I also consider that these could just be some kind of like rite of passage, where it's like, there's a part of me that just wants to experience the feminine experience in order to become whole and healthy. And once I'm whole and healthy, maybe I'll live as a man. Who knows? I don't want to get too deep into that, but because I really can't get deep into that because I have no idea what I'm talking about. So, alrighty.